The story begins inside the Grand Galactic Council chamber, the heart of alien power. The hall is massive, built of crystal and metal, floating above a glowing planet. Hundreds of alien leaders sit in their silver seats, their colorful eyes reflecting the light of distant stars. It is a day of celebration, the start of what they call the Age of the Galaxy. For thousands of years, these alien races have ruled the stars together. They share trade, science, and power. They believe nothing can threaten them now. The last great enemy, humans, was gone long ago. A tall reptilian alien stands up. His scales shine under the council light. He raises his glass and says with pride, "Let us remember the past, the wars, the chaos, the foolish humans. They destroyed themselves and now peace belongs to us." The crowd laughs. Some bang their tails on the floor. Others clap with sharp claws. Humans, they believe, were dangerous, emotional creatures, too ambitious, too wild to survive. Their wars burned their own world. Their cities fell to dust. The last human signal faded 400 years ago. The council believes that story. It is written in every history book. Humans destroyed themselves. The galaxy is safe. But tonight, something happens that no one expects. At the edge of the chamber, an old alien scientist receives a strange signal on her device. It's weak, covered in static. She frowns and adjusts her instruments. The pattern looks familiar. She narrows her eyes. "Impossible," she whispers. The signal grows stronger. The sound cuts through the room's silence. Crack, static. Then a voice. A deep, human voice. "We are coming home." Every alien freezes. The laughter dies instantly. The voice repeats, slow, cold, and filled with calm power. "This is not a message of war. This is a reminder. We are coming home." The chamber erupts into panic. "Fake." One alien yells. "A trick." Another shouts, "Impossible, humans are extinct." But the old scientist shakes her head. Her voice trembles. "No. This signal is from real human code, ancient Terran frequency." The council orders an emergency scan of all border systems. Satellites light up across the galaxy searching for the source. For hours they find nothing. Then, one by one, border sensors start going dark. Entire listening stations stop sending data. A nervous voice reports through the intercom. "Council members, we are losing outposts in Sector 19, 21, 24. A cold silence fills the chamber. In deep space, far from any star, something moves. Huge shapes glide through the dark, silent, hidden, without any engine trails. These are ships, but not like any ever seen before. They bend light around them, becoming invisible. Even the best alien scanners can't detect them. The only thing that shows their presence is a faint echo, a heartbeat of energy, as if space itself is breathing. Back in the council chamber, the alien commander, General Torkal, studies the data. His face darkens. "This energy reading," he mutters, "matches old human fusion patterns. But stronger. Far stronger. Humans couldn't build such power," another alien argues. Torkal looks at him with cold eyes. "Maybe not before. But maybe they learned." Suddenly, the entire communication grid flickers. Screens fill with static. Then a message appears on every display. Just 2 words. "Hello again." Every alien stares in shock. The words are written in English, a language not seen in centuries. Ships stationed near the outer rim start sending distress calls. Screams, gunfire, silence. One after another, the signals die. Hours later, a single damaged alien vessel limps back from the border. Its hull is burned and torn open. The captain, covered in black dust, speaks in fear. "They didn't attack like us. They didn't talk. Their ships moved without sound. Our weapons didn't touch them. They were already inside our systems before we fired." The council tries to understand. How could extinct humans have such power? The scientist whispers, "They learned from us, but evolved beyond us." Another commander stands and shouts, "Launch the defense fleet. Destroy whatever they are." But before the ships can even launch, the stars outside the window begin to fade. A massive shadow covers the chamber, something large enough to block the light of an entire sun. Through the windows they see it, a gigantic black ship, miles long, shaped like a spear cutting through space. No noise. No warning. Only silence. The alien commander stares in disbelief. His voice cracks as he says, "That was not supposed to be possible." The lights in the chamber flicker again. A new message appears on every wall screen. This time it's not a voice. It's a symbol, the blue circle of old Earth's flag. Below it, simple white words appear. Phase 1, Reclaiming the Galaxy. The entire council sits frozen, unable to speak. In that single moment, every alien in the room understands one terrible truth. Humans never died. They only waited. The alien council chamber is silent. No one dares to move. On every screen, the old human symbol still glows, a blue circle with a white earth inside it. The message below it repeats slowly. Phase 1, Reclaiming the Galaxy. For a moment, no one speaks. Then chaos begins. Alien voices rise in panic. Some shout for answers, others demand war. A few whisper in fear, ancient stories about humans, about how they never give up, even after losing everything. General Torkal slams his claws on the table. Silence, he roars. We will not be ruled by ghosts. He turns to the scientist. Where is the signal coming from? The old scientist, trembling, studies her screen. It's moving, sir. Jumping between systems, faster than light. Faster than anything we know. Torkal growls. Send the scouts. Find them. The lost scouts. 3 scout fleets are sent to the galaxy's edge, fast ships with stealth sensors and the best pilots. They disappear into the void, searching for signs of human life. At first, everything is normal. Quiet stars, silent planets, no signals. Then one fleet reports something strange, a metal structure orbiting a dead world. It's not alien, the pilot says. It looks human. The commander orders the ship closer. The surface of the object glows faintly, not with light, but with movement. Tiny machines crawl across its hull, repairing and changing it. Before the pilot can speak again, the transmission cuts off. Moments later, the other 2 scout fleets lose contact too. No explosion. No warning. They simply vanish from the scanners. Back in the council chamber, an officer reports in fear. All 3 fleets, gone. The scientist whispers, they're not just back, they've been watching us. The empty colonies. Over the next few days, alien colonies near the border begin to go dark. At first, it seems like communication errors. Then ships sent to investigate find empty cities, no bodies, no life. Everything perfectly clean, as if people just walked away. The colony's power cores are missing. Data archives are erased. Whoever did it knew exactly what to take. Rumors spread across the galaxy, stories of silent ships seen above planets, of metal shadows passing through walls, and of a voice whispering through static. Return what you stole. Aliens start to panic. The markets crash. Civilian ships hide in deep space. The council tries to control the news, but fear moves faster than truth. The Invisible War. General Torkal forms a new fleet, 10,000 warships, the strongest in the galaxy. They move to guard the central systems, ready for attack. But days pass and nothing happens. No enemy ships, no battles. Then one night, the fleet's computers start shutting down, one by one. Engines go silent. Weapons won't fire. Communication breaks. Report. Torkal yells. Sir, says an officer, someone is inside our systems. They're rewriting our code. How? They're using human language. Old Terran script. A calm human voice echoes through the speakers. Power is not in weapons. Power is in control. Every ship's screen flashes. A single symbol appears again. Earth's circle. The next second, the fleet's engines roar to life, but they're not under alien control anymore. The ships turn, move into formation, and jump to new coordinates, toward the human side of the galaxy. The aliens can only watch as their own ships vanish into the stars. Old truths revealed. Back in the council chamber, the old scientist finally speaks the truth. Humans never died, she says. They hid. They built their worlds in the dark, under black holes inside dead systems. They learned what we could not. They learned how to vanish. Another alien gasps. You mean they were watching us all this time? The scientist nods. Yes. And now they've decided to return. Torkal growls. Why now? Why wait so long? She looks up, her eyes cold. Because we took their worlds. Their colonies. We called them extinct. But they were never gone. Just waiting for us to forget. The council falls silent. Every alien feels the same chill, the feeling that something ancient and unstoppable is now awake. The message. That night, across the galaxy, every communication device turns on by itself. No matter how far, how secure, the message reaches everyone. The voice is calm, confident, and unmistakably human. 4 centuries ago you watched us fall. You took our worlds, our technology, and our name. But humanity does not vanish. We evolve. We adapt. We remember. The voice pauses, then adds, "Do not fear us. Fear what made us stronger." The message ends. Silence returns. But now every alien race knows, the humans are back. And they are not coming for peace. The silent return. In the deep void, human ships gather in complete darkness. Their designs are strange, living metal, shifting and pulsing like hearts. Inside no one speaks. Commands move through thought, not sound. A single ship at the center glows blue. On its bridge stands a figure, the first human commander seen in 400 years. His eyes are pale, his face calm. He looks out at the stars and whispers, "They think we are monsters. They're wrong. We are the consequence." He raises his hand. Phase 2 begins now. The fleet fades, becoming invisible once more. Only the faint echo of their engines remains, like a heartbeat in the dark. The galaxy was no longer calm. In every corner, alien empires whispered the same name in fear: humans. Trade routes were empty. Colonies locked their gates. The Galactic Council tried to stay in control, but fear spread faster than orders. Whole planets had gone silent, and still, no one had seen a single human face. General Torkal stood at the war table, staring at a map of the galaxy. Red marks covered the outer rim, colonies lost, fleets missing, data erased. He slammed his claw on the table. "We can't fight shadows," he growled. The council leader spoke softly, "Maybe it's not shadows we face, maybe it's evolution." The discovery. Far from the council, a small research team worked on a dead moon called Vero 9. They searched for answers, trying to track the mysterious energy that destroyed their fleets. One night, their scanners caught something strange, a massive power spike coming from inside the moon itself. Dr. Kelra, the lead scientist, frowned. "That's impossible," she said. "There's no core activity here." But the readings were real. Something was moving underground, huge machines or tunnels that had never been detected before. Her team drilled through layers of rock, and what they found left them speechless. A hidden city, ancient, metallic, glowing faint blue. Human symbols covered the walls. "This place has been here for centuries," one of them whispered. At the center stood a massive device, pulsing with silent energy. A message was carved into the metal beside it. "To those who took our stars, this is our seed." Before they could transmit the data, the lights flickered. A voice spoke through their radios, soft, human but mechanical. "You should not have come here." The moon trembled. Dr. Kalra screamed, "Get to the ship." But it was too late. The entire city exploded in a flash of blue light, vanishing without a sound. From orbit, their command ship saw the moon collapse into itself, gone within seconds. Nothing remained but a faint echo of energy. The pattern. Back in the council chamber, reports began to connect. Every dead world, every lost station, all had one thing in common. Each site had once been part of old human colonies. "They built under our feet," the scientist said, showing maps. "While we thought they were gone, they were building beneath us." Torkal leaned forward. "Building what?" The scientist hesitated. "Something that connects. These places aren't separate. They form a network, energy lines across the galaxy." "Energy for what?" The scientist looked pale. "For awakening something. Something old. The human network." In the dark void, human ships moved silently between stars. They didn't use fuel, thrusters, or light. They traveled through energy currents, through the invisible network that now pulsed under every alien empire. Inside the flagship Erebus, Commander Alaric stood before a holographic map. Blue lines covered the galaxy, lines connecting human outposts hidden for centuries. He touched one glowing point. "Vero 9 has been triggered," he said quietly. Another officer nodded. "Phase 2 complete. Power grid is awakening." Alaric looked at the stars. "They built over our graves. Now we rise from them." He turned to his crew. "For 400 years they mocked us. For 400 years we learned in silence. We no longer fight like them. We think as one, move as one. We are no longer only human, we are the network." The ship pulsed with blue light. Outside, the stars bent slightly, space itself reacting to their presence. The first strike. Without warning, a fleet of alien warships entered human space, ready to destroy anything they found. 10,000 ships, armed with the galaxy's strongest weapons. At first they saw nothing. Just empty stars. Then, one by one, their scanners picked up movement, thousands of small signals surrounding them. "Identify," shouted the alien captain. "Unknown objects. No heat, no sound, no life signs." Then, suddenly, the small signals moved, straight through their ships, ignoring shields and armor. Inside every alien vessel, the lights went dark. A whisper came through their speakers. Your weapons cannot harm what you cannot see. The fleet's flagship fired its main cannon, a beam powerful enough to destroy a moon. But the beam never hit. It curved, turning back toward them. The entire fleet vanished in a silent flash. In the council chamber, they watched the data feed, 10,000 ships gone in an instant. Torkal's voice shook. How can they bend energy like that? The scientist whispered, they don't bend it, they are it. The truth. Later that night, a new human transmission appeared on every galactic channel. A figure stood in the light, half human, half machine, eyes glowing like stars. He spoke slowly, his voice calm and deep. You called us extinct. You said we were weak. But you forgot what made us human, our hunger to survive, our will to change. He looked straight into the camera. You built your empires on our ruins. Now we rebuild on yours. Then the image flickered. The last thing they heard was his final line. The galaxy doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to the ones who never stopped dreaming. The signal ended. Silence returned. But every alien knew, this was no longer just war. This was something greater. The hidden power. In the darkness beyond the stars, deep inside a black hole, the true human homeworld pulsed with energy. Cities of light floated between gravity waves. Billions of human minds connected as one. No borders, no bodies, only unity. They had become what their ancestors could never imagine. The architects of the galaxy. And now their return had just begun. The galaxy was falling apart. Trade routes once filled with bright ships now drifted in silence. Alien stations, once shining with color and light, floated dark and empty in space. Messages of panic filled the communication lines. The name human spread like a storm across every world. The Galactic Council tried to calm the chaos, but it was too late. Every race knew the truth, the humans were back. And no one could stop them. Panic in the council. Inside the Grand Chamber, voices shouted over each other. They destroyed 10,000 ships. They control the networks. They can bend energy. General Torkal slammed his fist down. Enough, he shouted. We must fight. We cannot surrender to ghosts. But no one replied. Every council member could see fear in the other's eyes. How could they fight an enemy they couldn't even find? The old scientist, Dr. Kelra, spoke softly. They are not ghosts, General. They are evolution. They became something new. Torkal growled. You mean machines? She shook her head. No. Something between. Machines can be destroyed. But humans, they adapt. A silence filled the room. For the first time in history, the galaxy's strongest leaders had no answer. The collapse begins. Across the outer colonies, entire planets stopped responding. Energy systems failed. Defense networks turned against their owners. Satellites crashed, weapons melted, and the stars themselves seemed to flicker dimmer. Aliens tried to escape, sending fleets into deep space. But their navigation systems twisted mid-flight, sending them in circles. No matter how far they ran, the humans were already there, waiting in the dark. In one sector, an alien armada of 5,000 ships tried to attack a single human outpost. When they arrived, they found no ships. Only a small, silent station orbiting a red sun. The station sent one message. Leave now and live. The alien admiral laughed. Empty words from dead creatures. He ordered the attack. Then everything changed. The red sun behind the station began to pulse. Light turned blue. Space cracked open. The star itself folded into a sphere of energy, and vanished. The alien armada disappeared with it. In their place, only silence remained. The meeting. Days later, the council held a secret meeting in the deepest part of the station. Torkal sat beside Dr. Kelra and the remaining leaders. We need peace, said one of them. If they wanted us all dead, we'd be gone already. Torkal shook his head. You don't make peace with fire. You survive it. Just then the room lights flickered. A figure appeared in the center, tall, glowing blue, half human, half energy. The aliens jumped back in shock. Dr. Kelra whispered, It's a projection, a human hologram. The figure spoke calmly. You are afraid. That is natural. But we didn't come for revenge. Torkal growled, Then what do you want? The figure turned its glowing eyes toward him. We want balance. You built your empires on the ashes of our home. You lied to your people. You said we were gone. But humanity does not vanish. Humanity waits. The alien leaders trembled. Dr. Kelra asked softly, What will you do with us? The figure smiled, a quiet, unsettling smile. What you did with us. Watch you collapse. Then the image vanished. The fall of the empires. Over the next weeks, every great alien empire began to crumble. Their computers no longer obeyed. Factories stopped working. Ships refused to start. Even their food systems failed. Whole planets went dark, not from war but from silence. The humans didn't destroy them with bombs or weapons. They simply turned off the galaxy. The council begged for talks, sending endless messages into the void. But the humans didn't reply. Only one signal came back, repeating every hour. You built a galaxy without mercy. Now learn mercy. Some alien leaders went mad. Others surrendered without ever seeing a human face. A few worlds tried to resist, and vanished overnight. The last stand. Only one system still stood, the capital world of the Galactic Council. Torkal prepared the defenses. Massive cannons covered the planet's orbit. Millions of soldiers waited for battle. Then the sky changed. Every star around the system dimmed at once. The humans had arrived. No ships appeared. No sound. No warning. The stars themselves began to move, forming a circle around the planet. Is that them? Whispered an officer. Torkal stared in horror. No. That is them. The light formed a symbol in the sky, the old Earth circle, glowing bright white. And from it, a voice filled every mind on the planet. This is not the end. It's the beginning of balance. The alien soldiers dropped their weapons. Machines stopped working. The planet's great towers went dark, one by one. Torkal fell to his knees, watching the sky burn with blue light. He whispered, "They've taken everything." Dr. Kelra stood beside him, tears in her eyes. "No," she said. "They've given us a chance to start again." The collapse complete. When the light faded, the galaxy was silent. No wars. No fleets. No empire. Only stars, and the quiet hum of the human network stretching from world to world. The age of aliens was over. The age of humans had returned. And somewhere in the void, Commander Alaric stood on his bridge watching it all. He whispered to himself, "The galaxy is finally awake." Then he turned away, his eyes glowing like the stars themselves. The galaxy was silent now. The great alien empires had fallen. Worlds once filled with light and trade now floated in darkness. Machines slept. Cities turned to quiet stone. And through that silence, a single voice echoed, calm, human, powerful. It spoke from every screen, every radio, every mind. The war is over. The galaxy belongs to no one. It belongs to all who survived. Aliens listened, afraid to breathe. They had seen what humans could do. Weapons that bent stars, fleets that moved without sound, and power that came from thought alone. But no one understood how. How did humans rise from extinction to gods? The captured commander. Deep inside the ruins of the alien capital, a group of survivors waited in an underground base. Among them was General Torkal, broken but alive, and Dr. Kelra, the last scientist of the council. Without warning, the heavy doors opened. Blue light flooded the room. 3 human figures stepped inside, silent, tall, wearing black armor that shimmered like smoke. The leader removed his helmet. He looked young, almost too human, his eyes glowing faintly blue. Torkal growled, "So it's true. You've come to finish us." The human shook his head slowly. "No, General. We came to show you the truth." He walked to the center of the room and with a simple gesture, a hologram appeared. It showed a map of the galaxy, millions of lights connected by blue lines. "This," the human said, "is the new network. The human grid." Dr. Kelra stared in shock. "It connects every world." The man nodded. "Yes. The grid links thought to matter, mind to energy. It allows creation without fuel, travel without ships, power without destruction. It is built from the human mind, billions of minds united as one." Torkal's voice trembled. "That's impossible. No species could control that much power." The man looked at him calmly. "No species could. But humanity is not just a species anymore." The birth of the network. The hologram changed, showing ancient images. Old Earth. Cities burning. War, famine, chaos. Humans destroying their world. The man continued. "When Earth fell, some escaped. But they knew they couldn't survive as they were. So they created the project. A way to merge human thought with machine intelligence. They built minds that could live forever inside light and data." The image showed people entering glowing chambers, their bodies dissolving into light. Their souls were uploaded into a network, not just to survive but to evolve. Over centuries the network grew. It learned, it expanded, and it became something greater, part human, part universe. Dr. Kelra whispered, "You became energy." The human smiled. "We became possibility." He looked around the room. "While your empires fought over trade and borders, we rebuilt our home under your stars. We learned to speak to light, to gravity, to time. You measured power in ships. We measured it in thought. The true reason." Torkal clenched his fists. "Then why attack us? Why destroy our worlds?" The human's eyes darkened. "You built your cities on our graves. You erased our name. You called us extinct. We did not seek war. We sought memory." He pointed to the hologram. "Every world that fell, every colony that vanished, those were human burial sites. You mined them, polluted them, mocked them. We took them back. That was our home." Dr. Kelra lowered her head. "We never knew." The human nodded. "You didn't want to know. But now you will remember. Not as rulers, but as survivors." The offer. The hologram shifted again, showing new cities, bright, calm, and beautiful. They floated above oceans, inside stars, and across the ruins of old alien worlds. Humans and aliens worked together, building something new. The human commander spoke softly. "This is what comes next. You can join us or you can fade. The choice is yours." Torkal stared at the image. "Join you? After everything?" The human nodded. "You misunderstand. We don't want your surrender. We want your understanding." Dr. Kelra stepped forward. "What happens if we refuse?" The man's voice turned quiet. "Then time will forget you. Just as you forgot us." For a moment the room fell silent. Torkal looked at the blue light surrounding them and whispered, "Maybe extinction was easier than this." The human placed a hand on his shoulder. "Extinction is never easy, General. But rebirth, that's harder. And we all must face it." The truth revealed. Outside, across the stars, the human network pulsed with light. It wasn't just a weapon, it was alive. Every star that humans once touched now carried their presence. They had become part of the universe itself, no longer conquerors but caretakers. Dr. Kelra turned to the human and asked softly, "What are you now?" He smiled faintly. "We are what comes after fear. We are the memory of what you once called human." Then he looked up as if hearing a distant voice. "It's time," he said. "Phase 5 begins, the new dawn." Light filled the chamber. The humans vanished like mist, leaving Torkal and Kelra standing in silence. For the first time the alien general felt no anger, only understanding. He whispered, "They didn't conquer the galaxy, they became it." The war was over. Silence spread across the stars, a silence so deep that even machines seemed to stop breathing. From one end of the galaxy to the other, every alien race waited. They had lost fleets, worlds, and pride. And now they waited to see what the humans would do. The light returns. On the horizon of a dying planet, the first sunrise in years broke through the smoke. The sky glowed gold, and the air shimmered with strange energy. Above, human ships floated, silent, watching. Their design was unlike anything ever seen. Living metal, glowing veins of light, moving as if alive. On the ground, alien survivors gathered in fear. Some prayed, some hid. But the ships did not attack. Instead, small capsules fell gently from the sky, carrying seeds, clean water, and light. An alien child stepped forward and picked up a glowing sphere. The sphere unfolded into a small floating drone that spoke softly. "Do not be afraid. You are not alone." The crowd gasped. The voice was calm, human, but warm. For the first time, the aliens saw that the humans were not there to destroy. They were there to rebuild. The Council of Dawn. Far away, on a great orbital station above the galactic core, the new council gathered. But it was not an alien council anymore, it was something new. Humans and aliens sat together for the first time. In the center of the vast hall stood the human commander, his armor now gone, wearing simple white clothing that shimmered faintly. Beside him stood Dr. Kelra, once an enemy, now a bridge between species. The commander began to speak. "Once this galaxy was divided by fear, by power, by history. We destroyed worlds because we did not understand them. But the time of war is over. From today onward, the galaxy belongs to life itself." His words echoed through the hall and into every broadcast system. Aliens across thousands of worlds listened as he continued, "Humanity does not rule you. We guide the rebuilding, together." The hall grew bright as the walls transformed into transparent glass, revealing the stars beyond. And out there, every star pulsed, slow, calm, alive. Each pulse was part of the human grid, the living network that now held the galaxy together. The living network. Dr. Kelra stood beside the commander, looking out into space. "What will happen to those who still hate us?" she asked. The human smiled softly. "They will learn. The grid will teach them through connection, not control." She frowned. "But how can a machine teach?" He turned to her. "The grid isn't a machine. It's a mirror. It shows everyone who they truly are." Across the galaxy, old alien empires were awakening. When their systems powered on, they no longer showed war commands or maps of territory. Instead, they displayed memories, images of both human and alien history combined, showing what they had lost together. It was not punishment. It was understanding. And as the truth spread, anger began to fade. Even the proudest alien generals lowered their flags. Not because they were defeated, but because they were finally free. The last transmission. Weeks later, the human commander stood alone in a vast chamber of light. Before him was an old device, a transmitter glowing faintly. He touched it gently and spoke. "To all who hear this, this is not the end of humanity. It is our beginning. We have learned that to conquer the galaxy is not to rule it, but to join it." His voice grew softer. "We are no longer what we were. We are stars, memory and thought, but still human at heart." He looked at the stars outside, then whispered, "Wherever life rises, we will be there. Not as gods. Not as rulers. But as guardians of the light." The transmission spread across the galaxy, reaching every world, every race, every lonely traveler in the dark. The dawn of a new age. Years passed. Worlds healed. Ruins turned into gardens. Ships that once carried war now carried children, explorers and dreamers. No one called humans monsters anymore. They were called the Keepers of the Dawn. In the night sky, a pattern of glowing lines connected the stars, the human grid still pulsing gently. Each pulse reminded the galaxy that unity was not a myth. It was real. It was alive. Dr. Kelra stood on a balcony watching the sunrise. She smiled as she saw a small human drone planting seeds in the soil. "Maybe," she said softly, "this is what they always wanted, not victory, but peace." Above her, a human voice whispered through the wind. "The stars remember." Epilogue. In the farthest corner of the galaxy, an old, forgotten beacon flickered to life. A single line of text appeared on its dusty screen. "Earth status rebuilding." The stars glowed brighter, and for the first time in 1,000 years, the galaxy felt alive again. Not because humans had conquered it, but because humanity had become its heart.